Calling the Lower Makefield Township Zoning Hearing Board meeting for December 6th, 2022 to order. And we have no other issues to go through here. We have 3 members of the board. And so appeal 22-1986, can you please come up and get sworn in? Or if you're online, okay. You want to read the exhibits in, Adam?
Sure. We have the application as A1, the site plans as A2, proof of publication B1, proof of posting B2, and B3, notice to the neighbors.
Okay, you can be sworn in now. Yes.
Yes.
Please make sure the microphones are
Yep.
working too.
Yep.
Rob McCubbin from Anthony and Sylvan Pools, MCCUBBIN.
Megan Doherty.
Tyler Doherty.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what you're looking for here, or what you're planning on doing.
Sure. Yes, I can kind of walk you through the plan here. So I met the I met the Dohertys back in August. I had built a pool on their street before, so we were recommended. So I came out and met the Dohertys, kind of went over with what they were looking to do in their backyard. And we designed a pool that kind of fit the backyard. There's kind of a odd slope towards the back, so a lot of the yard's not very usable because of the sloped area. So they're interested in putting in a pool. So we designed a pool, kind of had an idea that we were going to be at this meeting due to impervious surface, just knowing the township and kind of seeing what we had there as far as existing. So I kind of walk you through with what we have. The property itself is 16,813 square feet. Currently, the property is over the allowable impervious surface area. The allowable limit is 28%. So we are currently at 29.5% without the construction of the swimming pool and the swimming pool patio. So that consists of the house itself. We have the front driveway, front walk, a rear paver patio, and a covered porch out front. There is a shed and a couple other things that are being removed. So what we are looking to do is we're looking to build a pool and add an additional 1,094 square feet of impervious surface to the property, which would bring us from currently the 29.5% to 35.6%, or a total of 5,989 square feet. What we've done working through the engineer is we also developed a stormwater management plan. Now, the stormwater management plan will mitigate everything that is over the 28%. So effectively, by building the stormwater management system, we're going to bring the property back down to a 28% limit by mitigating the stormwater runoff for what we're creating plus what's existing that's already over.
Okay. Questions from the board? I'll have a question, but I'm gonna hold until after. Okay. Is there any public comment here? Or public comment online? Okay. I have a question here. You already have a fairly large patio in the background. And I understand the need for pool coping and access around the pool, but why the large extension and pavement area you're looking for on the planned south side of the pool?
Yes. Okay. So they just talk about this area here. It's kind of your lounge chair area where the sun.
That was mostly just. So that, I'm sorry, that's just so that we would be able to actually put a few lounge chairs.
But you have that other patio area right there that's practically your existing patio area that's practically contiguous to it.
I mean, generally, any pool that I've been to has that just larger patio area. Is that a problem or?
It's just, you already have a large paved area out there and I understand you're mitigating the stormwater, but still you're increasing the impervious area and so and I'll pass this over to Judy, who I believe has a comment here too.
I was just wondering why you didn't either bump the pool or take away some of what you already have. I mean, I do understand wanting to put lounge chairs. I'm in the same place you are. But it just seems like with that large an area, either move the pool towards it or just find a way to break it up so it's just not that large an area, including, because you also have around the pool.
I think we've got 3 kids and for, kind of moving around that area, if we were to remove any impervious surface, we would want to remove it somewhere else. We do have the paver extension on the driveway that if it's that much of a concern and we need to remove some impervious surface, we prefer to remove it there.
Yeah, that would remove about 180 square feet of impervious surface. So yeah, there's a small, well, it's not small, it's an 18 by 10 paver extension off of the backside of the driveway, which we did discuss. So that's a potential area to give that up so you could still have the lounge area around the pool, which would be more useful. Yeah.
What would be the concern of taking more impervious surface away? Is it kind of a must-have? Do we have to take some away, or what's if we were doing stormwater management, what's the?
Well, because it does, the stormwater management helps, but on high intensity events and so forth, the stormwater management only takes so much. And the more we pave in the township, the more it goes downstream. And we appreciate that you have the stormwater management, that you're mitigating it back to the 28%. It's just that you have a lot of pavement out there that you're looking for. So.
And just for everyone's information, removing that 180 square feet would bring the impervious surface down to 34.6%.
Jim?
I mean, it's not a huge reduction, but when you look at it from an equivalency standpoint, the part that we're talking about seems to be pretty similar in size and scale. So, I mean, that might be a good solution to satisfy your concerns, Pete, and also yours, Judy.
Would you be amenable to that?
Yeah.
Okay, then if there's no other comment, I'll entertain a motion.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve appeal number 22-1986. Taking into mind increasing the impervious surface from, just bear with me, it's existing 29.3 to 34.66, and then mitigating it back to 28%. Furthermore, the applicants need to work out an agreement with the township wherein they will remove that paver extension of their driveway as part of this approval.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I do have a question for Jim Majewski. Is there any reason to include anything else that's associated with, that's on here, these removals or is that being dealt with separately?
That's being dealt with separately. I believe we've already contacted the property owner about the things that are on the
Oh, yeah,
township's
they'll be gone.
property.
That's
Hmm.
no problem.
Thank you.
All right, then we'll have a call vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. You're done.
Yeah.
Next up is Appeal 22-1987. Huh? Okay, can you state your names and be sworn in?
Stephen and Lisa Malahy.
You guys solemnly swear the testimony we have to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
We do.
Adam, can you read the exhibits in?
Sure. We have the application as A1. We have the site plans as A2, B1 proof of publication, B2 proof of posting, and B3 notice to the neighbors.
Okay, can you go ahead and explain what it is you're looking for here? And what you're
Well,
planning on doing?
Where we'd like to put on the south side of our house, add it's essentially a four-season room that is 20 feet by 16 feet. And I'm not very familiar with the process, so I'm not sure what other information I need to give you guys.
Okay, well, one of the questions is going to be here is with the increase in impervious area, what are your plans for mitigation?
Oh, rain barrels and soaker hose to distribute throughout the yard.
What was that?
Rain barrels?
Jim, do we have calculations for any of this?
They did not provide calculations. That is something that will need to be provided. I know the zoning hearing board typically likes to have something that semi-permanent as a mitigation measure. Typically an infiltration trench is what's often done for a property. That's where they dig a trench in the ground 3 feet deep, 3 feet wide by whatever the certain length is. And then they wrap that with fabric, fill it with stone, and then maybe tie a roof leader from the addition into it so that the water runs off into that and sort of gets buried underground and slowly seeps in.
That's fine.
Yeah, certainly have no issue doing that.
Yeah, I believe there's some other questions here, so other members of the board.
No, I'm okay.
It shows it on the drawing there. I guess as a question, have you talked to the neighbors that face it at all or not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
we've talked to all the neighbors, both,
On all sides of us.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Is there any public comment online? Thank you. All right. Board?
I'm fine. I can make a motion when anyone wants to.
Okay, well, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve appeal number 22-1987, subsequent to a submission of a stormwater management plan in the form of an infiltration bed, pending township approval, mitigating the stormwater management from the proposed,
Excuse me.
taking it from 27.1% up to 30%, but mitigating it back to 29%, which is allowable.
Is there a second? Judy?
I'll second.
Jim, is that fine?
I have no issues with that.
Any comment? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Appeal 22-1987 passes as just discussed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, Appeal 22-1988, if you can come up and get sworn in. And Adam, you want to read the exhibits in?
I do. We got a few more. Thank you. Than usual. We have the application that's going to be A1. The site plan is going to be A2. We have the patio and pool plans that will be collectively marked A3. We have the impervious surface calculations and the stormwater management small project volume control. Those will be collectively marked as A4. And we have some site photos of the trees they planted. There's 3 of them, and they will be collectively marked A5. B1 proof of publication, B2 proof of posting, and B3 notice to the neighbors.
Okay, go ahead and explain to us what it is you're doing and what it is you're looking for. And you've seen 2 previous ones, so.
It's a little nerve wracking. Okay, so we are proposing to put in a pool. We will be adding 1,494 square feet of impervious surface. That'll put us over our limit. We have 3 different proposals to make up for that, mitigate for it. One is an infiltration pit, which our contractor said might be a little difficult because of the flood plan that we're in. We have a flood zone in the back. Another one is we planted 21 green giants in 2020. I think we need 46 in order to meet the mitigation rate or limit, whatever. So we could plant either another 21 trees, or we can plant a full 46 trees. So that's for the impervious surface. And then we would also like to push the pool back to the 10 feet limit of the property.
The application says rear yard setback to 1.5 feet. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was supposed 1.5 feet
1.5 feet
within the property line. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, your one plan shows 2.5 feet to the decking, and to the actual pool would be more like 3.5 feet if I'm looking at it correctly.
Which plan is that? Which one are you looking at?
It's the site plan.
It's not annotated 3.5 feet. Jim's estimating, I believe. Yes?
Our
Shows
understanding,
2.5 feet.
our understanding was that you're allowed to build within 10 feet up, and we were looking to build all the way back to it. There's a large open area in the back behind where the pool's gonna be. So we were hoping to use the space of our property in full. I'm not sure exactly dimension is, but we can find out for sure if we need.
So in regards to stormwater management, is it simply planting of trees? Is that what you guys are proposing?
That would be preferable if we could continue to, we did plant the 21.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know that's not, you're not gonna be able to do that. I mean, it's great that you planted the trees and we're thrilled, but yeah, unfortunately, trees sometimes die and sometimes get blown over in storms and so forth, so on. So
So I think you had heard that was an option.
It was an option. It's on the impervious surface application.
If not, that's.
It was just. an
yeah, we
option.
usually reserve that for like when people are within like 1%.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So then we can do the infiltration pit.
Yeah, I figured that. I know
We heard that was an option. I was like, oh, that's.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good. option.
we'll
Let's
try it.
plant trees.
Yeah, and we spoke to a neighbor and were told the same thing, so
You still can plant the trees.
We are.
So-
we will still plant the trees
Jim-
regardless.
And we'll encourage you to plant the trees, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
trees often get disease, as I have found out. Or, as he said, get blown over or whatever. It's not a permanent option, but the water is permanent.
Jim, any issue with putting in a trench as the applicant suggested because of the floodplain in the back?
I don't believe there is. The stream is quite a bit away from where the pool is. And the floodplain, although on that one site plan had showed it being on the property, it's not really. That was based on an old mapping with inaccurate information. Otherwise, they would need another variance for that, but they don't. But it is very close to the property line. They could put that infiltration trench somewhere on the side of the pool so that it's not anywhere near where there would be a water table problem.
I'll let, I believe the township has comment here.
Well, I was asked to participate for two reasons. One, the township is concerned about the increase in impervious surface. If I may, either Mr. or Mrs. Doyle, right now you have impervious surface coverage of 27% at the property, correct?
Correct.
And you're looking to increase it by almost 10% up to 36%, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And a large portion of that is going to be a section that's a paver walkway from what appears to be your driveway to the pool coping.
Mhm.
Is that section absolutely necessary, or can that be eliminated to try to reduce some of the impervious surface coverage? You're going 10%. I mean, I understand it's so people coming in from the driveway can walk to the pool, but you also have a connection off of your rear deck.
Right. Would it be possible to do the steps from the deck to the pool and eliminate the section from that bump out to the driveway? That might be the same, you might be saying the same thing as I am, but.
Yeah, from the steps area. Yeah, well, so I guess what I'm confused is if I look at the plan here, there's there's blue lining that's outlined.
And can you pull a plan up?
In a second.
Yeah, so the squiggly line. if I-
It appears on this plan that there's going to be pavers up to where the steps are for the deck.
That's correct.
But on the photograph sketch, there are none. So I guess I'm confused. See, there are deck steps, there's no showing green grass, but on that plan. Okay,
Yeah, that is not on the picture, on the photograph.
it's not on the photograph. Okay, so that plan is accurate. You're going to have pavers coming off of the deck steps to the pool area. So my question was, can this side squiggly section be eliminated to help reduce some of the impervious?
If that makes it work, sure.
Well, just so you understand, the township's position is if you're coming in for a variance, the relief should be the minimal necessary for reasonable use of the property. 10% increase in impervious surface is pretty significant. The other question that I have is, according to this plan, the box in red in the rear says 1.5 feet. And that's the point from the paver section of the coping to the rear property line, correct?
Correct.
Is there any way to orient the pool area to be parallel to the house itself so that you create more of a rear property setback? The other corner appears to have at least what looks like several feet of a rear yard setback. So is there a way to turn the configuration of the pool to be symmetrical or parallel to the rear deck area so that you have a larger rear yard setback all the way around?
So
I have another idea too. So there's another option that would reduce the amount of impervious would be and it would reduce or eliminate your setback request and give you a place for impervious is to move the whole thing towards the house, towards the deck.
Yeah, the
Remove that space move that 10 feet there or take it up to the deck. You're reducing the amount of impervious for your walkway and you're reducing the amount of deck you have next to the pool.
Yeah, so to answer your question first, Barbara, we're both a little crazy with symmetry. So, and then I know my wife pretty well now that she's going to want it to be symmetrical with the house. Sorry. She's going to want it to be symmetrical with the house. So I was going to actually to kind of go to the same thing with what Peter was saying. I think we'd probably prefer to pull it back and then keep the symmetry of the thing. I think that would solve all the issues, right?
That would, in that the township's concerned that that one corner is only going to have a rear yard setback of 1.5 feet.
Right.
You stated that the property behind you is vacant land.
Yeah.
Is that a township?
Township. property.
Township property.
Okay, so part of the problem is people tend to not respect the property lines when it's township-owned land. And if at any point in the future this was granted, it would be easy for a new homeowner to encroach further into the township land.
Gotcha.
And in order to maintain a distance to protect that property line, township is asking for a larger rear yard setback.
Okay.
So if moving it forward can accomplish that,
Yeah.
That
So
would be-
is there a dimension that we would want to hold?
10 feet. what's required.
Is there somewhere that we can
Can we
meet
do
in the
5
middle of
feet?
that or?
We're only participating. I'm going to defer to the zoning hearing board for their ultimate decision.
Okay.
Okay,
But the more you can provide as a setback, the happier the township will be.
got it.
So in my opinion, with that being township open space, basically, I'm pretty comfortable with everything, but I clearly see that the township would like it moved back, and I have a feeling my two co-zoning officers want it moved back. I'm personally fine with like 5 feet. If you want to maintain some green space between the decking and the patio surround, I'm okay. That doesn't mean my fellow zoning officers are, but I'm just putting it out there to you guys. What are you looking for? What makes the most sense to you guys, especially in light of what Barbara just said?
Having been on the board and have heard about encroachment more than once, it is a tendency when houses are either sold by developers to tell you, look at all that open land and let you believe it's yours. And then when the farm people come in and fence it, people are having heart attacks in Mr. Majewski's office. But it has been a problem with encroachment. I understand that. But I mean, I'm okay with 5 feet. Just a foot is just.
Well, the other advantage that the 10 feet is it also reduces the impervious area.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it takes care of both.
No.
That's why I'm in favor of
That was when I looked at it, it was like, this is an awful lot on the amount of space. And you happen to be very fortunate that you're in a part of the township that has a larger, your neighborhood has a larger impervious surface permit area. It just seemed like it was a lot. If you could tuck it back in, it would solve all the problems. It would solve almost all the problems.
So the dimension off of the township property should be we'll hold 5 feet. We'll pull it
No,
in
we're
be
talking
10.
10,
house.
10
It
feet,
should be the
10
10
feet.
Oh, okay.
feet.
10 feet.
Okay. So
So I don't think the township would have any problem if the board were inclined to require conditions that there be a 5-foot rear yard setback maintained so that they can configure the pool and coping area as they want. with the increase in impervious surface, eliminating that section from the driveway to the coping area as shown on the plan, and whatever other conditions the board feels appropriate.
So I'm sorry,
So
just,
see, we're kind of giving you two different choices right
Right.
now.
I'm just trying to fully understand it.
Yes.
So the impervious from the driveway to the back of the house, we would eliminate, or the driveway all the way to the pool?
Well, I was asking to eliminate from the driveway all the way to the pool, some of which would be automatically eliminated if you're moving it forward anyway.
So we would eliminate the entire, on this piece, this entire piece. And
Correct.
then this one, in that instance, the 1.5, we could make 5.
Yes, right here.
Yep.
And then just do it in such a way that there's a 5-foot rear yard setback from the edge of your property line to the pool area.
I think that'd be
Mhm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
So
We could build.
I think we're
another
kind of, we're kind of giving you two choices, two ways to get to a path that would be likely to be acceptable. Obviously, we have to make a motion and approve it. One is pull it back 10 feet and correspondingly reduce the pavements where they intersect your building or your deck. Another one is pull it back 5 feet and remove the access that goes to the driveway. And we'll probably phrase that as a net increase to the impervious so that in the motion. So rather than it being,
Well, I don't know if there's.
36.2%, we'd be saying it would be to, and we'll do a little bit of math here, say to 35% or something like that would be what you've been limited in. So you still have some, because I see you've got different geometries listed out here. You'd still have a little bit of flexibility with the geometry, but we'd be setting a lower impervious coverage. So you'd have to work that out. And then the setback would be the limit in the backside, depending on which way we go, which way you want to go.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about a little bit, well, there right now. Is there any public comment while we're waiting here?
So
Hello? Is there any public comment? All right, thank you. Lucky yes.
That's if you get rid of that entire.
Yeah, just looking at it real quickly, doing an estimate of the area of that sidewalk leading from the driveway would be 200 square feet, which coincidentally would bring that down to exactly 35.0%.
Which was the example language I gave you. So
sounds good. So just it would be 5 feet off the property line and 35% total impervious surface would be the rules of engagement for us.
okay, Barb, any comment to that?
Again, as much as can be accomplished to eliminate the
Mhm.
variance relief, the
Mhm.
township would be satisfied.
And then obviously we'd be looking for the stormwater mitigation with infiltration trench to the satisfaction of the township
Correct.
engineer.
Public comment?
There is no public comment.
Ready for a motion?
I think we're ready for a motion, yes.
All right. I think I can get this first try. Make a motion to approve appeal number 22-1988. Subject to not going over a 5-foot rear setback with
No,
any,
no less than a 5 foot.
no, yeah,
Less than a 5 foot.
okay. I I think I was saying it right. You just wanted to jam me up. All right, let's start over. Appeal, I make a motion to approve appeal number 22-1988. Subject to an agreement that the rear yard setback will be a minimum of 5 feet. Also, subject to revising the plan, wherein the revised plan shows the proposed impervious walkway from the driveway to the proposed pool surround being removed, and furthermore, having stormwater management in the form of a seepage bed, wherein we take the stormwater, the current stormwater at 27.4, where it's going up to 35, and it gets mitigated back to 32.
I think you made that a little bit more complicated than
I
it
don't,
needed
I
to
don't
be.
think you need to put in the, I think we could.
There it is.
Okay,
Vote.
we'll be amending the motion.
I think you could just say the max impervious of 35%, and then they can configure it however they want.
Figure it out, they want.
Max impervious of
35% Subject to
30%.
review and
You know what?
approval of the township.
You know what, Judy?
Yeah.
You do this one, Judy. I'm resigning. You do this one, Judy. All
So
right.
It's
You
just,
want-
it's
let me,
just the rear yard setback and the
The rear yard
35%
setback and the 35%.
by the township.
perfect. So make a motion to approve appeal number 22-1988. With a maximum rear yard setback of 5 feet and impervious surface. The impervious surface mitigated back to from 35 back to 32.
Actually, stop right there.
I can't take it.
Yeah.
One of the things with stormwater management, they always have to do stormwater management for all of the increase in impervious surface. If they're under, then all you have to do is just say for an impervious surface of 35%, subject to stormwater management for the review of the township engineer. If you want to have them take it down below where they are, in a case where they're over, then you'd say mitigated back to whatever. So you're overly complicating a little bit.
Okay,
Sorry.
so no, it's all right. We get it straightened out here. Okay. Making the motion to approve appeal 22-1988. Subject to a minimum 5-foot rear yard setback, an increase of the impervious area to a maximum of 35%, and mitigation back to 27.4%, utilizing infiltration to the satisfaction of the township.
I'll second that. Good.
Okay, any comment?
And you said the infiltration pit can go onto the side of the pool.
Yeah, your engineer could figure
They
out
can
what the
figure
best
that out. Okay.
location of
Okay.
that.
And actually with the additional space behind, and yeah, but your coping's right on the edge of it. Say if your coping was a wider on the backside, you could have maybe do it underneath that, but that's not available.
We're good. Thank
So
you.
maximum impervious surface is 35, mitigated back to the
27.4,
7.4.
but that's a township development requirement.
Yep.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
not
A little
done
bit
yet.
of Flexibility there,
Yeah.
what to remove.
Yeah, if there's other things that we can remove those. If there's other pervious surface items.
If you want to trim back your driveway, those are things we have asked before. And actually to Judy's comment about the encroachment and Barb's regarding that, you saw an example of that earlier this evening in that very first appeal where they had encroached on a township property.
Right.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. Motion carries. You're free to go. Okay. All right, the next meeting is January.
There are no applications for December 20th. I don't recall if you canceled the meeting at the last meeting. If not, you could vote to cancel the meeting tonight. I can't remember.
I
don't-
think you needed to double check, so I
Yeah.
don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we did either.
Okay,
You can cancel that now.
What date is it?
December 20th.
12/20.
Make a motion to cancel zoning hearing board meeting for December 20th.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And also one other item, since the Board of Supervisors reorganization meeting falls on the Monday by state law, your meeting will be moved to January 4th, which is Wednesday at 7:30.
Because the Board of Supervisors meeting has to be on the 3rd because the 2nd is a holiday.
Correct.
Or we can just tell Fred and company to wait until we're done.
So yeah, can just.
All right. All right. All right. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're done for the evening.
Done for the
Thanks.
year. Happy holidays,
See you-
everybody.
And see some of you next week.